34. Cruises out here.
Safe doing our investigation with you guys right here. Go down to that second palm tree and you can record from there. All right? That'll work. I understand that, but I'm just asking you guys to just film from the distance for us, at least into that next yard. After that next yard, then I have no problem. Right? Reasonable distance is an objective statement. It's whatever anybody else feels safe. Okay?
Yeah, guys, there's some HIPAA laws that we don't want to have violated. We potentially have a victim here. I hope that you respect that. You just don't mind doing what the officer says.
I mean, you know that we can't violate HIPAA laws, right? Medical professionals.
Did you want to go back a little bit for us? I appreciate that. That sounds good to me. Good.
That yard or that yard is preferable. Either way, we have every right to report. Right?
I mean, I'm on private property anyway, aren't I?
You're good, sir.
Okay, I'm good.
Thank you. Good.
I spoke to you recently as a matter of fact.
Did we?
Yeah.
Kind of knew he was going to say something. Kind of knew he was going to say something. Oh, really? Well, the cops are taking those pictures?
Yeah, there's probably taking a picture.
Johnson. I don't know if that cop's there. There's a cop waiting down that way though. A lot of these cops out here like chewing tobacco. Yeah. See it on their body cams all the time, just fucking munching on that shit.
Hey, Thompson, what's your badge number, man?
Yeah, let me just open the door. Badge number is 1525.
1525?
Yes, sir.
Are you chewing tobacco?
I'm not.
Is there a reason why you keep spitting on the ground?
Yeah, it's because I have dry mouth, so I haven't had enough water to do. Yeah, I'm not doing the right.
Hey, let me ask you, man.
Yeah.
What made you want to take that approach with me to try to push it back? No, we're not here to
No,
try to interfere.
I'm not
in
saying
any way.
that. I'm not saying you are. It's the fact that we were taught a certain way that if anybody is within listening distance to a victim, we are told that hey, if you're in a video, that's fine. However, do it from a distance to where that they're not going to feel like they're now impeding on their privacy, right?
Right.
At the end of the day, it's a private matter.
So that's what you're being taught. You're being taught wrong, man. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Like, this it's supposed to be a reasonable distance. Like, I can understand if I'm like right here, your car's here, and the car you're pulling over is right there. You know, like, I can understand if I'm like right in the middle. But I'm a reasonable distance, and there is no case law in the Supreme Court case is supposed to be reasonable distance. And you just admitted to saying that
It's subjective.
that it's not for us to hear, right? But that's being unreasonable, bro. So you just admitted to being taught an unreasonable
It's not
approach to
unreasonable
journalism.
whenever it's a subjective opinion about a reasonable distance. You know what I mean? Like I haven't patted any of you guys down, right? I don't feel threatened by you guys.
Right,
I can
right.
obviously see you guys' just hands are where they're supposed to be. You guys have a phone in one hand, and that's fine. I don't feel like you guys are a threat, right? But at the case that he had a knife in his pocket, how quick is it for someone to get a knife out of their pocket and charge us something? Pretty quickly, right?
Yeah, but your job is to do a threat assessment. Obviously, you said
Correct, but we also have, they even have said there's a 21-foot rule, which has also been proved wrong in a lot of the classes that I've taken with uses of force, which a person can gain 21 feet in a running, an average person, right, can gain 21 feet running at somebody with an object in their hand within 1.5 to 1.7 seconds. So for me to be able to process a threat assessment that quickly at even 21
But
feet,
that also includes if somebody's doing it in a way that could be threatening.
correct. But what I'm saying is people can flip that switch to be threatened in a matter of a second, right?
I'm beginning to study the law and the people's
That's good.
rights and the Constitution.
And that's good because you
And I
need to know that for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. In reality, you guys get to know that as well. Like, let me ask you, and I ask every cop that I encounter, and you can answer this. You know the 5 fundamental freedoms of the First Amendment?
I'd have to actually refer back
See
to
what I mean?
I mean, I don't know them off the top of my head. I have so many different penal codes in my
How long have you
mind.
been a cop here in Bakersfield?
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years?
Yep.
Is it your first 2 years on the job
As a police officer, yeah.
as a police officer?
Yeah. Within 2 years. I'm just now furthering my studies. I'm getting back into schooling to be able to further my own knowledge. But it doesn't mean I don't have knowledge and experience in all these other areas, right? I might not know that specific thing that, yes, I do believe that's important to know. But at the same time, I also know that there's over 500 something penal codes, 800 something penal codes, right?
You're not being taught correctly, and that's not your fault, man. In reality, it's my job now to come out and make sure that you guys understand what our rights are. Because in reality, you're supposed to know that. You swore an oath to the Constitution
Right.
when you got that badge, right? And the first 5 points of the First Amendment, those are the first fundamental freedoms of our rights, bro. How are you gonna know not to violate our rights if you don't even know what they are?
Well, like I said, I know the different constitutional rights. I might not know every single point within those constitutional rights, which I don't disagree with you. I think they are important to know. But what I'm saying is, it takes years of being able to study that, right? And on top of all the stuff that we already have to study to be able to do our job correctly as well. So I might not know that at the specific question that you're asking, but then there might be a penal code like 518 that you may not know, right? 518 is extortion. So, and then there's 3 elements to that crime for it to be constitutionalized as or constituted as extortion, right? So there's so many different subsections to all these penal codes that I might not know every single subsection. But that's why it's also available to us.
Yeah, you guys are
for us to
being
be able to
taught.
look.
You guys are being taught that what works and what's beneficial to you guys. For instance, Pennsylvania versus Williams. You know what that's for and how to use it. And stuff like
Terry
that.
versus Ohio.
Terry v. Ohio. Some cops overuse that, and even if there's no like any kind of threat, cops will still use that and pull people out of the vehicle just for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? Like
I mean,
I understand
it
if I'm
all
on the
puts-
side of the highway or dark tinted windows
Right.
or whatever you guys
and
may
like
have.
I said, everything when it comes down to those case law, it's subject to how the officer's feeling. Officer can articulate that however the officer decides to articulate that, right? Personally, I've never ripped somebody out of a car that was unconstitutional. I literally, the only time I've said it is like, hey, I already have him driving on a suspended license. I need to get him out of the car because if I don't, he's going to drive off again, and that's against the law to drive without a license, right? Or drive with a suspended license. So if you're not willing to get out of the car for me, then I'm going to have to physically remove you from it.
Now, what's Castle Rock v. Gonzalez and the Shaney v. Winnebago?
I've heard the Winnebago one. I don't know exactly what it is, but I've never heard it.
You see what I'm saying?
No,
you guys,
there's
you guys
hundreds
know,
and hundreds of
you
case
guys are
laws.
being taught. You guys know these case laws and some of these ordinances, things that benefit you guys to do your job easier, to make your job easier, stuff like that.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know the people's rights, man. The cops don't seem to know the First Amendment or the Constitution. Luvano, I spoke to him before. Same thing. He doesn't know it either.
He's been
A
doing this
couple
for a
training
lot longer than I have.
a couple training officers, BPD, neither one of them knew it. I mean, that's a pattern. Wait a minute, that's a pattern of you guys swearing an oath to the Constitution and not even knowing what you guys swore an oath to, bro. That is embarrassing, and I'm able to show this pattern over and over and over again because cops don't seem to know it, man. You know what I mean? And I try to be respectful with you guys and open up a conversation.
And that's
you know what
fine.
I mean?
I'm joining into your conversation at this point. However, if it's going to be a bashing conversation, then
Right.
I'm not going to be a part of it anymore. I'm going to remove myself from the
Right,
conversation.
right. I'm not swearing at you, and
I'm not
raising
saying
my
that,
voice.
but it's still it can come off as being a condescending matter of saying that I'm stupid basically by saying that I don't know
No.
what you're right.
No, it's not that, bro. It's not. In reality, I don't even think that we should throw more money so that you guys can be trained. I think that you guys should know it before you even apply for the job. It's like hiring a mechanic who doesn't even know what the hell a carburetor is. You know what I mean? It's
Well, how did every mechanic start?
I can't fixing his broken car.
That's
His
different
mom
than
or
police
dad's
work,
broken
right?
car, or with their dad.
It's a lot different than police work. I mean, I can't necessarily just go and
Getting into
the only thing
semantics.
you're going to ask is that everyone to have a college degree for criminal justice if they're going to have a cop. And if that's the case, then I mean that's already where it's going as of right now. In the state of California, they're already pushing that. And that's fine if that's the way California wants to do it. However, I also believe that there's already not a lot of people that want to do this job. And if the ones that do, I would say 30% are doing it for the wrong reasons. So at that point, if you don't have the right state of mind, that's what the academy is supposed to be for, is to push out the ones that are doing it for the right reasons. Now, for people like me, which I had a dream to do this, I went and had my own life experience with construction work for 10 years before I became a cop. Yeah, I might not know all these laws and everything prior, but that's why I'm doing my studies now on my off time. Right? Not getting paid for it, to further my end, because this is my passion. My passion is to help you, a neighbor here, business owners downtown. That's my passion, is to want to help. That's why I became a cop, right? But I have to be given some sort of credit for wanting to do the job in the first place.
Well, at the same time, man, you gotta understand the limits to the scope of your authority.
And I don't think I've abused it.
I mean, you were trying to push us back, and I had just spoken to
Well-
Ivana, like, not even, like,
Well, like I said, everything's
10
subjective.
seconds.
I didn't know you had already spoke to my sergeant. If he gave me the clear, he could have told me, hey, I gave him the clear to be at that distance. Okay, no big deal. I was unaware, and for me, I just see about 15, 20 feet to the back, right? I'm like, hey, this victim's right here. She's holding an object in her hand that's part of her body. I think it's kind of a violation, not really a violation of anything that you guys did wrong necessarily, but I don't want her privacy to feel like now she's having to tell not only the public, but also whoever this video goes out to, right?
well, I've spoken to this guy before. He's been professional, and I've spoken to him. How you doing, man?
Oh, how's it going?
Good,
Hey,
good.
Connor, you mind if I grab water for
Yeah,
you?
go ahead.
And he did the right thing. He knew we were out here. He knew that there was absolutely no acceptance in public, so he decided to take the vehicle.
Well, he did that only because our sergeant asked him to, because our sergeant felt at that point that it was too close.
Well, then Donald did the right thing. at
Correct,
that
and I
time.
agree with that. I agree with that. However, I just thought I wouldn't say want to say common sense, but being a respectful, because you guys have been respectful this entire time. I would hope that by me just asking, it wouldn't have been a big deal to just move one yard or the other. If you want to zoom in, that's fine. I would just ask you nicely to say, hey, this is what I believe is a reasonable distance for her to feel like her privacy is not being infringed on. And
But
I just
maybe,
figured that would be the right thing to do. That's
maybe
why
you're
I
not the
asked.
kind of cop that would try to violate somebody's rights, but I would say you would have to agree that there are cops that are out there, even if not if they're not trying to violate somebody's rights, they're doing it in a way of coercion. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to tell us or whatever, or if you don't tell us, yada yada yada, right? So sometimes I believe that it is reasonable for the people to actually hear what's going on. And I gotta say, man, that there's times where I've muted people's personal information. Like there's people that have yelled out their social security numbers and their home addresses, and I take that out of the video
Right,
because
and that's respectful to do, right?
Right,
That's
right.
that's private information that you don't believe that the public should know. But however, not everyone's going to be like that. This is my first time encountering you guys, so if I ever see you in the future, then at that point I'm going to obviously take a different approach, right? But since this is my first time, and we also know what part of town we're in, we also know what type of residents this part of town brings homeless. Not really so much here gang related, but just the type of people that aren't going to have the same type of mindsets as you guys have for the respect of the public. You know what I'm saying? That being said, of course I'm going to try to do my due diligence to say, hey, if she's not going to feel comfortable, just trying to think of her really. Just say, if she's not going to feel comfortable with that hearing it and videoing you, if I can just ask you guys to move this side. So if I came off route, I apologize. I didn't mean to come off route. But it's just, that's my mindset at the time.
in this conversation, do you believe that I may have made some valid points?
Oh, 100%. I mean, I don't think that you're wrong for anything that you believe. You know, if you believe that, I mean, some people say that the sky is going to be red. At some points in time of the day, it is red, right? But sometimes people look at it now and they're like, hey, that's perfect. No, well, it's not. But if you believe that, I'm not going to discredit your belief, right?
last time I spoke to Toronto, I asked him if he knew like fundamental freedom of First Amendment. He said no, he was honest. So he's everywhere. And so I told him next time I see you, all right. So he does, and right now I was like, hey man, let me ask you a quick question. He's like, I gotta go by. I do. I think he knew I was about to ask him.
You probably did. Well, I'm gonna put it down right here.
Freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of religion, freedom of assembly, and freedom to petition the government for redress of grievances. And a lot of people think you need a press pass or credentials to be a member of the press, but you could just be walking around with a pen and a paper and you know, give it to the news and you're a member of the press. Or post it on YouTube or
And
something.
I mean, we know that because that's what all these streamers do, right?
Right.
It falls in the same category. I'll put that down on my notes so when I look it up. So when I encounter you again, you ask me and I'll tell you the answer.
And I'll put the videos together. It'll go viral. We'll both look good on the video, you know.
And like I said, I'm only here to try to help the public. And I mean, I'm not perfect, right? So it's like if I'm gonna sit here and tell you I'm perfect, I'm lying.
I'll be
I'm not
honest
gonna lie
with
to you.
you.
That's all I'm saying.
I'll be honest with you, Tom.
Yeah,
I started, I came on, I was a little awesome. So
we all can.
I learned along the way. I knew that I needed to improve. I knew that instead of pretty much middle finger up, you know what I mean, stuff like that, that I wasn't a good person. I knew if I wanted to understand your job and get you guys to understand what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, I had to try to conversate with you guys and talk to you guys. And I think I discovered a pattern, man, that's an easy fix throughout the nation, man.
Yeah, honestly, the problem with what I believe where it starts is we have so many classes combined in one. I mean, it feels at the time long academy. In reality, for our whole entire 34-year career, depending on what age you go into, is it long to do that academy? You know, but that's why they put it on us to put it on there's certain testing that the state makes us pass while we're in the academy. If we pass it, we pass the academy. But I believe when it comes down to the constitutional rights, they should spend a little bit extra time on that and a little less time doing. It's hard to even say that to like take out anything else because everything we learn in there is so important to what we do to keep ourselves safe, to keep the public safe. But at the same time, if that means keeping us 1 extra hour a day on the same length, but 1 extra hour a day, and add that hour in for the strictly for the constitutional rights, I think that would be something that they should do. Will it happen? And, end of the day, I miss the low man out 24. No one's gonna listen to me.
I'm listening, man, and people are watching, man. Another pattern that I discovered whether it's my own personal video or somebody else's video that I share or not, at least watch, you know, this really pushing actions in general, good advice. I noticed that a lot of cops stop at the mention of the First Amendment, of the Constitution. A lot of times, I know there's a lot of people out there that say some crazy shit. Maybe they learn to be called a sovereign citizen or whatever, but cops use that a lot for people who can say they have certain rights and say, oh, it's a sovereign citizen. I find that to be, how would I say it, discriminate at least. And, you know, I just, when you see cops often, even in Bakersfield, file a paper with one inch that they have to do to me. I noticed that the story behind it, yeah, that somebody passed away, but many times you see cops speeding up and down the road, no emergency lights, don't even know signal lights. I've seen that happen a little while back when I went to the mayor's office. I'm not going to go up and let the mayor or the secretary. And I said, hey man, we talked to the chief of police and Bakersfield and tell them to make sure that the cops abide by the same traffic laws that everybody else has to, because somebody's going to end up dying. Boom, it's like not even a handful of days later, Mario Lawless was dead in that accident. And I just think that should have been avoided me. The mayor ignored me. They wanted bureaucracy going on out here that we can't fix some of these simple problems. I'm like, whatever it is the cops are doing, if it's an emergency, I get it. If there's a call, I get it, man. Throw your emergency lights and get it. Go get them, you know what I mean? If there's a bad guy creating victims out there, it's a felony, call something, go get it, you know what I mean? Turn on the emergency lights, but I mean, I'm not saying that cops are on hot dates and gotta hurry up to get from one spot to another, but who knows what the hell is going on when cops are speeding with no emergency, man?
I mean, and to answer part of that question, well, I guess it's not even really a question, it's more of just adding on to the conversation. Like this morning, I came in at 6, I looked at the calls, just on the east side of Bakersfield alone, there's 46 calls. And that's 46 people that are calling, and they don't call us on a good day, right? They're calling us on the worst day of their life, something bad's happening. We never meet anybody on their good days, right? Now, people like me, when we're like, we really want to help people, I want to get to as many cars a day as possible. I might not pull over every car that I should when I see them with no license plate or anything like that, because I'm going to a call to help somebody. And maybe I should pull them over. Maybe they're up to no good. However, I have the thought of they're not speeding, they're not putting anybody's life in danger right now. I'm going to a call to someone's place because they either felt like they were in danger or possibly could be in danger in the future for whatever report they're trying to follow or file. So I'm going to try to get to that. That's my priority, right? So when I look at the board, like I said, I want to get to as many calls as possible. I have an 8-hour day. I'm one of the only shifts that's 5 days. So there's really hard for me to get to every single call on those 46 calls that are on the east side of town. It's such an 8-hour time. When I'm trying to give everybody a respect of, let me take your investigation seriously. Let me focus on your investigation. And I'll remember the last 10 that I handled. Let me focus on you because you're the one I'm here for, right? I guess I don't know if officers, I'm not trying to make excuses for anybody, but if they're trying to get there to help people like I am, you're right, they should throw their emergency lights on. If it doesn't call for an emergency, you can get there quickly, right? You can take the fastest route possible, still abide by the speed limit rules, still put the blinker on when you're going to make a lane change, right? But at the end of the day, it's public safety is what we're here for. Driving is just as much about public safety. So I don't disagree with you. I can't speak for any other officers' actions, right? I also know that I work in one of the busiest times during the day. People are going to work between 7 and 8 a.m. People are taking lunch between 11 and 12, and a lot of jobs get off around 3. So my 6 to 2 day falls in between a lot of those high traffic hours. I'll be honest with you. Even if I throw my license sirens on, I ain't going more than 45. There's too much traffic. There are people really looking, pulling over, some don't. Some people freak out and they just sit there and I have to try to lane change around it. Do I throw blinkers on every single turn? I'm not gonna lie to you, I probably don't. And it also comes back with bad habits of how you drive off duty too, right? Is that something I'm trying to get better at? 100%. But that's all I can do is work on that from one day to the next.
I don't know, man. You guys got anything to tell us in here?
Alright. Well, if you guys don't have any more questions, I'm gonna go make sure my partners are good and they don't need anything else. I'll catch you guys later. Ask me the next time and I'll get back to you on that answer.
We're just here to report the cop.
There's another call over there, it looks like. Maybe Winston. Okay. Yeah.
Got a huddle going on over here, guys.
Feels like the worst day to fucking wear black. That dude was definitely recording with his phone. had the camera sticking out from his pocket. Huh? Oh, that. Tip. And the ambulance.
This time we're getting it. I actually want to have some conversation.
I'm gonna go drive down that alley for the. Yes, I can. Oh, okay.
Is that better right there? I know. That one better. Bobby, I know. But is that one better? Okay, that one wasn't the problem. So,
He's also like trying to give him facts and it's like, well, I can't tell you anything. Like, when someone says the sky's red, no, motherfucker. Yeah. I can't make you not to do something. What the fuck, dude? What are you talking about? He's like a politician, man. So it's kind of like, you don't want to talk to him. You get the conversation going.
Taking a picture while it's tattooed.
What'd you say?
I'm taking a picture while it's tattooed. Oh no, his scars. Both of you guys are static? Static.
After a while, the supervisor's like, you're good. Like, he's hearing me that he's that bad on me.
My fucking ass
So
is
you're talking about
drowning
some
in
shit?
sweat right now.
I thought I was going to do it. I'm not going to jail, but they're definitely going to try to get my face when I do that. You went to the alley. Oh, you mean the fucking the big one? Yeah, fine.
My ass is drowning in sweat.
Thanks, bro.
It's fucking hot out here. Shit.
Better to just get on the brink of it. Yeah, like I'm not even trying to run through it. So I was using the first thing for this kind of food, like at least. I know. I would say 11.5. But you didn't like 12.2. People must look into that, or not people get cautious of it. Jump back in like you know who that SAB was? Oh, you don't know. He was just there because they were going there because somebody saw. I wonder if it's like protocol to like always have fucking sunglasses on. Is that a gun after Patricia got out? Thompson had to have his in there. You don't start screaming like when you get dragged out. It makes no fucking sense. Was that Patricia getting out for just fighting this chick, or from a tiny floor? Yeah, someone spit on the street like 10 times.
What did they fucking know? Shit. This cop is fucking so goofy. Huh?
So they blessed him with height, but you know, he's gonna kick the rest of his life. I hope they see that's how them coming.
Fuck, man. No. Both getting arrested.
if I can get you in badge real quick before we head out?
Yeah, it's Officer Baker, badge 1543.
1543?
Yep.
Are you new here to Bakersfield PD or what?
New to Bakersfield PD? I've been on over a year. I'm not new to Bakersfield. I've been here since 2000.
Cops is fucking retarded. Holy shit. That cop is goofy as fuck. We're done here, but people are going to jail. He's fucking dork.